Did you know that the very foundation of your independence, the strength in your legs, might be quietly slipping away? Not because of some exotic illness, but perhaps due to simple oversights in what you eat, or rather, what you don't eat. It's a reality that many face as the years go by, isn't it? That subtle feeling of heaviness, the slight tremor when you stand, the breathlessness climbing stairs you once bounded up. It's not just in your head. What if I told you that the answer to reclaiming some of that lost strength, that confidence in your stride, doesn't lie in complicated regimens or expensive treatments, but could be as simple as understanding the hidden might of a few common foods? Before we dive into these unsung heroes of your pantry, I'm curious, where are you joining me from today? And more importantly, what's the one small thing about your leg strength or mobility that you wish felt a little easier? Go ahead and share that in the comments below. You'd be surprised how many of us are walking a similar path. Now, you might hear statistics, like an older adult being admitted to the hospital every 11 seconds due to a fall. And yes, that's alarming. But what does that statistic truly mean for you, for your life? It's the fear before the fall, isn't it? The potential pain, and perhaps most significantly, that creeping loss of autonomy, the feeling that you can't quite trust your own body anymore. It's a heavy thought. But here's something I've come to believe quite strongly after seeing so many journeys. Weak legs are not an inevitable sentence. No, not at all. The narrative that aging automatically means frailty? I think we need to question that, don't you? What if your daily choices, the very fuel you give your body, could write a different story, and it doesn't require an upheaval of your entire life? We're going to look at 4, yes, just 4, straightforward foods that could be game changers for your muscle health, your joint function, and even that all-important balance. Think about Maria, 76, who after a fall thought a cane was her new permanent companion. Or Jose, 81, who found standing up a shaky affair. These aren't just stories, they are possibilities. After some simple, conscious dietary shifts, Maria was back to walking confidently. Jose, tackling stairs like he hadn't in years. How did they do it? It started with what was on their plate. Your body isn't giving up on you. Perhaps it's just waiting for the right kind of support. So, are you ready to explore this with me? If you're nodding along, if this is striking a chord, type a 1 in the comments. If this isn't quite what you were expecting, a 0 is fine too. Your feedback truly helps shape what we talk about here. Let's begin with our first food. It's modest, unassuming, yet I believe it's a cornerstone for rebuilding. Dish 1, chickpeas. You know, after years of observing and learning, one truth seems to shine brighter than others. Sometimes the simplest things offer the most profound benefits. Chickpeas, or garbanzo beans as some call them, often sit quietly on our pantry shelves, don't they? But what if these little legumes are holding a secret to your leg strength? The challenge many seniors face, a condition often whispered about called sarcopenia, is essentially the body's tendency to lose muscle mass more rapidly after 50. This isn't just about looking less toned. It's about what that muscle loss does. It can mean weaker legs, a more precarious balance, and yes, a higher risk of those dreaded falls. Now, chickpeas step in as a fantastic source of plant-based protein. Why is that so important? Well, protein is the very building block of muscle. Consistently giving your body this crucial material can genuinely help slow down that muscle loss, leading to legs that feel stronger, more resilient. I often wonder, how many of us are truly getting enough of the right kind of protein as we age. But the story of chickpeas doesn't end with protein. Think about magnesium, iron, and vitamin B6, all packed into these little powerhouses. What do these do? They're vital for smooth muscle contractions, for staving off that dragging fatigue, and for ensuring your nerves are communicating effectively with your muscles. It's like an internal support system. That heaviness, the cramping, the stiffness so many seniors experience, could it be that a deficiency in these micronutrients is a contributing factor? A 2019 study even suggested that older adults enjoying chickpeas a few times a week saw a significant reduction in muscle loss compared to those who didn't. That's not just a number. That's a tangible difference in how you move through your day. I remember a gentleman, let's call him Arthur, 74, who after a minor tumble was more frustrated by his legs feeling unreliable than any pain. He wasn't looking for a pill. He wanted his strength back. We talked, and a simple addition to his diet was chickpeas, 3 times a week. In his stews, tossed in salads, even blended into a savory dip. Was it a miracle? No. Was it a significant step? Absolutely. Within weeks, Arthur reported feeling more grounded, more confident rising from his chair. It's these small, consistent actions, isn't it? So, how much are we talking about? For many, starting with about half a cup of cooked chickpeas a few times a week can be a great starting point. And they're so versatile. Roast them with a touch of olive oil and your favorite herbs for a crunchy snack. Toss them into a vibrant salad. Or, my personal favorite for a comforting meal, a chickpea soup with turmeric and black pepper. Great for circulation and fighting inflammation. Here's a little tip for those using dried chickpeas. Soaking them overnight with a pinch of baking soda can make a world of difference. Why? It helps break down phytic acid, making the iron more absorbable and the chickpeas themselves easier on your digestion. For anyone who experiences bloating or feels their iron levels might be low, this simple step could be surprisingly beneficial. It's these little nuances, these thoughtful preparations that can elevate a simple food into a true health ally. Don't you think? Culinary item 2, pumpkin seeds. Now, if chickpeas are about building that foundational strength, our next food offers something more targeted, especially for an issue that plagues so many, often in the dead of night: leg cramps. And what if this tiny seed could also sharpen the communication between your nerves and muscles? Pumpkin seeds might seem like just a simple snack, but are they? These crunchy little wonders are loaded with magnesium. We've touched on magnesium, but let's really consider its role. It's like the great relaxer for your muscles and a key conductor for your nervous system. So many individuals over 50, even those eating a seemingly healthy diet, might be running low on this vital mineral. And the signs? They can be subtle. Restless legs, those annoying muscle twitches, a persistent stiffness, or feeling wiped out after minimal effort. Does any of that sound familiar? Beyond magnesium, pumpkin seeds bring zinc, healthy fats, and antioxidants to the table. Why should you care about these? Well, zinc and antioxidants can help cool down inflammation in your joints and protect precious cartilage. If your knees often feel stiff or swollen, or if you're on your feet a lot, this is something to consider. It's this combination for muscles, joints, and nerves that makes pumpkin seeds so uniquely helpful for a range of leg and foot discomforts. A 2020 study even found that adults over 55 who had 30 to 40 grams of pumpkin seeds daily for 6 weeks reported a 31% drop in nighttime leg cramps and showed better balance. That's not just interesting data. That's the promise of more restful nights and steadier days. I recall a lovely lady, Eleanor, 68, who was tormented by calf cramps. They'd wake her like clockwork, leaving her sore and tired. She'd tried warm baths, stretching, everything she could think of. The solution we explored? A small handful of roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds each afternoon. A tiny change. Within weeks, the cramps started to ease. By 6 weeks, they were practically a memory. Imagine waking up feeling refreshed, legs calm, ready for the day, all from a handful of seeds. It really makes you wonder about the power we're overlooking, doesn't it? For pumpkin seeds, about 30 grams, or roughly 2 tablespoons, daily is a good aim. Sprinkle them on your morning oatmeal. Toss them in a salad, or just enjoy them lightly toasted. Here's a thought on timing that might make a difference. Try having your pumpkin seeds between 3 and 5 p.m. This gives your body a few hours to absorb that crucial magnesium and help regulate your nervous system before you head to bed. Could such a small tweak lead to more peaceful, uninterrupted sleep? I believe it's certainly worth exploring. Meal 3. Marine algae, seaweed. All right, let's venture into somewhat more unexpected territory. This next food doesn't grow in fields or orchards. It comes from the ocean. It can seem almost paper-thin, easy to dismiss. But what if this humble sea plant holds remarkable power for your joints and bones, especially if they've started to feel, well, a bit creaky? If you hear a pop when you stand up, or your knees complain when you turn or climb stairs, is it just aging? Or is it a sign that your joints and bones are calling out for a different kind of nourishment? Marine algae, things like wakame, kombu, or nori, are packed with organic calcium, iodine, and unique anti-inflammatory compounds like fucoidin. These aren't just fancy names, they play critical roles. They can help enhance bone integrity, soothe stiffness in your joints, protect cartilage, and even support your body's production of synovial fluid. That's the natural lubricant that keeps your joints moving smoothly. Think about this. A 2021 study indicated that women over 60 who included seaweed in their diet a couple of times a week showed up to 16% higher bone density. In later life, even a small increase in bone density can be a huge factor in preventing serious fractures from a fall. It makes you pause and consider, doesn't it? How many of us are actively thinking about bone density in our food choices? I'm reminded of a vibrant former yoga instructor, let's call her Iris, 70, whose persistent knee arthritis had sadly forced her to stop teaching. As part of her recovery journey, we looked closely at her diet, and seaweed became a regular feature. Warm miso soup with wakame, crisp seaweed salads, nori rolls. At first, it seemed like such a small change, yet within a couple of months, she reported less inflammation, reduced discomfort, and was even starting gentle stretches again. For someone who thought her days of flexibility were long gone, it felt transformative. You don't need to overhaul your diet. Just incorporating seaweed 2 to 3 times a week could be beneficial. Add wakame to your soups, sprinkle seaweed flakes on salads, use nori sheets for wraps. A little kitchen tip. When making a seaweed broth, try adding a few slices of fresh ginger and a touch of sesame oil. This not only enhances the flavor, but can also aid calcium absorption and gently warm the digestive system, particularly helpful if your digestion is a bit sensitive. Seaweed might seem simple, but could it be a profound healer for your bones and joints? It's certainly a compelling thought. Food 4. Avocado. As we move to our final food, Imagine this. What if the strange numbness in your calves, that tingling in your toes, or the feeling that your walking is somehow disconnected isn't just something to endure? What if it's a sign your nerves need a specific kind of fuel? This last item doesn't come from the ocean depths, but grows quietly on a tree, offering one of nature's most sophisticated restorative gifts. Avocados, with their creamy texture, are more than just a trendy food. I see them as a neurological asset. Why? They are rich in monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid. This type of fat is crucial for fortifying the membranes of your nerve cells, enhancing the communication between your brain, your spinal cord, and your lower limbs. Think of it as smoothing out the signal pathways. This kind of support can improve your coordination, your awareness of where your body is in space, and potentially reduce those missteps or stumbles. But avocados offer more. They're a good source of potassium, which is vital for fluid balance and proper muscle contraction, helping to prevent cramps. And they contain a significant amount of vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that helps protect your sensitive nerve endings from the oxidative stress that can come with aging. A 2021 study highlighted that older adults, particularly those 65 and up, who ate avocado with their morning meal at least 4 times a week, showed noticeable improvements in balance, posture, and lower limb steadiness within 6 weeks. Isn't that remarkable? Especially for those who felt that subtle but troubling instability. I think of a retired teacher, Samuel, 79, who was deeply worried about a growing numbness in his feet. It made him unsure about his beloved walks with his grandson. We looked at his routine, and one key change was swapping his often sugary breakfast for a slice of whole grain toast with mashed avocado, perhaps some chia seeds, and a squeeze of lemon. Just that one shift. Weeks later, he returned, and his smile said it all. "I can feel the ground under my feet again," he shared. It wasn't magic. It was consistent, nutrient-rich nourishment. So how can you bring this into your life? Aim for about 1/3 to half an avocado, 3 to 4 times a week. Mornings are great for absorption, but it's also a fantastic afternoon snack. Spread it on toast, dice it into a salad, blend it into a smoothie, or enjoy it in wraps. Here's a little extra tip I often share. Top your mashed avocado with some crushed walnuts or flax seeds. Why? You're adding more beneficial omega-3 fatty acids and even more vitamin E, further fortifying those nerve pathways and helping to reduce inflammation. Avocado is soft to the touch, yes, but internally, it's a powerhouse, isn't it? It's working to support nerve function, stabilize muscle control, and ensure each step you take feels more secure, more purposeful. By thoughtfully incorporating these 4 foods, chickpeas, pumpkin seeds, marine algae, and avocado, into your weekly routine, you're not just eating, you're investing. You're investing in your muscles, your joints, your nerves. You're making a significant investment in your independence, your mobility, and your quality of life. Isn't it empowering to know that these simple, natural foods can offer such profound support? The power to make a change, to support your body, truly lies with you, often starting with your very next meal. Every small, conscious choice you make today can enhance your autonomy for all your tomorrows. Now, if this conversation has sparked some ideas, if you found something valuable here, do consider giving this video a like. It lets me know we're on the right track together. And please share this with anyone you care about who might benefit from feeling a bit steadier, a bit stronger on their feet. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more tips to support your active, balanced, and independent life, whether you're 50, 60, 70, or wonderfully beyond. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you tried any of these foods regularly? Is there one, in particular, you're now curious to explore? Your experiences and questions are so valuable to this community. We'll connect again in the next video, where every step we discuss contributes to our growing strength. Stay with us. We're just getting started on this journey.